Real talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave coming at you live from Germany for your weekly wrestling questions extravaganza. That's right. It's well, it's supposed to be Ask Andre. That's the name of the show tonight. But Andre's not here. He should be around shortly, I'd assume. Hopefully he's not dead. That would be good. But you never know. Men of a certain age could die anytime. It'd be unfortunate, it'd be tragic, but you know, I'd have a good show to be able to do tomorrow. I remember my friend Andre. He was such a good man. Okay, but no, in all seriousness, I'm sure he'll be around in just a few moments. But let's get about you guys, because it's your show, and it's all about your questions about wrestling. And of course, you know that we're just 1 week away, officially 1 week away from Wrestlemania 33. 33, that's right, man. Can you believe it? 33 of these things. Unbelievable. They've been around this long, and there's this much going on. This week is jam-packed with stuff. You got Access that has so much going on. You got wrestling events being put on by, like, everybody. And then, of course, the actual weekend itself. I mean, we have NXT, which has a hell of a build. Hall of Fame, one of the best Hall of Fame classes and induction classes. Like, they're actually the inductors as well. In a very long time. It's pretty incredible. And then WrestleMania itself, which seems to be quite polarizing. Half the people seem to be all up in arms. Yeah, there's going to be a good WrestleMania. Look with all the names. There's so much star power. And then other people are like, I don't know. Build sucks. Everything kind of sucks. Roman Reigns, Undertaker. I'm going to kill myself and all this stuff. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg better not end the show, motherfuckers, and all of that. So, people are split. But I do think if you give WrestleMania a chance, this could be one hell of a weekend. Lots of stuff going to be happening, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think one way or another, we're going to see one hell of a spectacle. And that's what WrestleMania truly is about. Yes, would you like it to be like Wrestle Kingdom, where you know you're going to get at least one 5 to 6 star match? Yeah, you would. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there won't. I believe there are 4 or 5 matches on here that could absolutely tear the house down. And that's only on WrestleMania itself. So I think there is a lot to look forward to as far as WrestleMania. But it all comes down to execution. It could certainly just absolutely crash and burn into the ground. Andre Corbeil will be here in a moment, by the way, and we will take your questions. Go ahead, and a couple of ways that you can get your questions to me, and I got a couple I'm going to start with. You could go and put them right in the comment section below. I think that's probably the easiest way. You can just go into the comments and put any question that you might have, and we will answer them. Or go into my Discord, and you will see wrestling questions. The link to the Discord is in the description box. So you'll see a wrestling questions room under text channels. Go ahead in there, throw all of your questions that you might have, and we will answer them. Chris Cressa has the first question of the night via Twitter. Thank you, my German brethren, Chris Cressa. Do you think they'll have to rush through WrestleMania because of how many matches are on the card? Some might end up short. In recent years, this has always been a concern, like the last 4 or 5 years, is how many times that they've been just jam-packing WrestleMania full of matches. And this year is no different. There is a lot of matches being jammed into this event. Part of the reason why they've gone ahead and expanded to 5 hours, which I think started last year, maybe even the year before, where they started going to 5 hours for WrestleMania. 5 freaking hours, 2-hour pre-show. That's 7 hours of WrestleMania, man. 7 effing hours. That's a lot of WrestleMania. I think based on how they're going to distribute everything up, I don't think matches are going to be intentionally pulled short, especially when we know at least one of them, potentially 2 matches, are going to be well under 10 minutes, probably between 5 and 7. Well, one of them between 2 and 5. That is, of course, the main event, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. that is going to be 2 to 5 minutes, and I think something's going to happen after it to kind of expand it out. We're going to get a return, a debut. Something is going to make that a little bit more important, because they can't just end it with Goldberg losing and Brock Lesnar holding the title up. That's not the way that they can end the show. There has to be more than that. And Andre Corbeil is joining us now. I don't know if he can hear me or not. I can hear him as he's talking. And are you here, Andre? Yeah, go ahead and say hello. We're live.
Check, check, 1, 2, Sunday evening, Dead on Dave Productions and Andre Corbeil weekly collaboration with each and every one of you, the viewer, and hopefully you call in for this WrestleMania 33 spectacular as we throw a bunch of imaginary ideas at each and every one of you, and we want to hear your imaginary ideas as well. There, I'm out of breath, bro.
Who doesn't love a corroboration? Those are always fantastic. Where the fuck were you, man? Dude, there's no time for check, 1, 2. Motherfucker, I've been on the air for like 7 minutes now. What the fuck? I need an apology to all the fans who are here for you. You sell this thing.
You know something? I don't always work on Army time like Dave does. And
Army time.
With myself having a brother that's also in the military, I've heard it many times, and I've had to apologize many times as well.
I forgive you, because how could I not forgive that beautiful face of yours? I mean, look at you. I mean,
I'm one of those fashionably late motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying?
You're a Canadian 10, which is an American 6, but still not bad. You're a good-looking man, especially for 55. Andre, of course, we are a week away from WrestleMania, and we already started taking a couple of questions because I wasn't sure when you were going to be moving on along. So the question that Chris Cressa asked, and I'll repeat it to you, my friend, is, because of all the matches that they're shoving into this year's WrestleMania, are you concerned about time and matches being shortened up? Now, I already started answering it because it's 5 hours this year, and some of the shortness of some of the matches that we know of, Goldberg, Lesnar, obviously, and probably Undertaker, Reigns, it shouldn't be a problem. What do you think about that? And then we'll go into some of the fantasy stuff.
I'm not sure if they're going to add any more, and with such a long WrestleMania this year, just like last year, it seems like WWE wants it to morph into a all-day event, and it looks like they're going to be. What was that?
They want it to be the Super Bowl all day. They want the whole coverage.
It is the Super Bowl for wrestling. I guarantee you, when Vince McMahon first conjured WrestleMania in his idea, that was the comparison he used with his colleagues. We want this to be the Super Bowl of wrestling, damn it.
They did succeed on that. It's a week-long event. I mean, Access has got all kinds of great things. Have you seen the Access list, the things that are happening this week at Access? They got independent promotions working Access this year. That's unbelievable. That's pretty damn cool.
Well, it's clear that Evolve is going to continue to have a working partnership with World Wrestling Entertainment. So I imagine one of those promotions you had just mentioned is Evolve, correct?
Yes, Evolve and ICW.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. I figured that.
What do you, now, before we move into other stuff, what do you think of that? I know you're kind of conflicted on the whole independents possibly going to the network or whatever. What do you think of this situation where independents are now starting to come over and work the Access event?
I don't know. Bro, I tune in for the pay-per-view event and the Hall of Fame. I don't really care about all of the other sideshow stuff. It's already too much as is. But pertaining or relating to the gentleman that posed the question, what was his name again, Dave?
Chris Cressa, my German brethren. Chris Cressa.
Chris Cressa. That's, you know what? That's a cool motherfucking name.
It's very German. Very
Chris
German.
Cressa. Is it?
Oh, yeah. It could be more German if it was Stefan Cressa. That would be more German. That would be more German.
I think that with this new all day long thing. Well, I guess it's not new because this is year 2 technically.
Yeah.
I think it's up to WWE, and I think they owe it to the fans, and not only the fans, to their superstars that are featured on this show, to at least give them a minimum 15 minutes feature. This is the biggest night of the year. Everybody on the roster that's involved, even roster members that aren't technically involved, are excited come WrestleMania time. But it's no secret, these performers want to be in the show, and squash mashes. Hey, smashes. Squash smashes.
Smashes. Sounds like some weird Canadian dish. But I get what you're saying. But the problem is two of the bigger matches, two of the main events, if you will, with 4 of the bigger names on the card, are almost guaranteed to be less than 5 minutes. I mean, how long would Undertaker looks messed up? I saw on Monday, I thought he was selling a mistake. Like, ooh, I turned around, I know I'm about to get speared. Looking back on it, and now after everything that I've heard this week about the pain that he is allegedly in the back, that was a grimace of pain. I've looked back at it a bunch now. I think he tried to pivot, and his hip is like, no. I think that's going to be a 5-minute match max, and Lesnar and Goldberg, which was what I was saying when you came in, I think they're going to have to add something to the end of that. Lesnar's winning. He's going to raise the title, but they got to do something afterwards, especially if it's ending the show. Somebody's got to attack him. Somebody's got to align with him. Something major has to happen, and I don't know what yet. Does the piano happen? Do we get the piano moment?
That's the easy prediction across the board, Dave.
Yeah.
I totally think WWE is going to present a 180, and I think Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar are going to surprise everybody tuning in or in attendance with a 22-minute match.
Oh, God, Andre. No.
22 minutes, buddy.
Baby,
22 minutes, buddy.
If they wrestle more than 5 minutes, Goldberg can't. If you're watching Goldberg and you're being completely honest and fair, when you see him in the ring, you really think at 50 years old, based off what we've seen of him, who is blowing up, he is blowing up on the way to the ring, that he can go fight. He's going to take suplexes from Brock.
Okay,
Lesnar.
I'm going to walk you back.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk you back.
Okay.
When I opened up my statement, Dave, I said I'm going to pull a 180, which is the opposite of what is expected.
I get that.
So everybody expects the quick match. WWE can do that predictable shit, but I think we're going to get a lengthy match from the two. And yes, the next Universal Heavyweight Champion will indeed be Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but I mean, my question is more of, do you think that this is something that they can pull off? Not WWE. I mean, they make that choice, which I think would be a detriment to the show. But do you think Bill Goldberg can wrestle for more than 5 minutes with Brock Lesnar?
Definitely 15, Dave.
Ooh.
Definitely 15. I don't know why I picked 22. That was just the number that fell off the apple tree.
Fair enough.
But minimum, Bill Goldberg can deliver a 15-minute match, and we've seen Brock Lesnar deliver 15-minute match plus in the past. So, yeah.
Brock, I know, is capable. We know Brock's capable. He's wrestled more than that on multiple occasions in this last 3-4 year run. I'm not worried about Brock Lesnar at all.
And let's not forget, Dave, one important factor here regarding Bill. He's been training heavily in kickboxing for close to 2 years now, so it's not like he doesn't have the cardio if needed. But part of the mainstay Goldberg gimmick was the bam, 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 wham, wham, thank you, ma'am, just like the Ultimate Warrior. That was a part of the spectacle, was the wham, bam, bing, 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 bing.
Bing, bing, yes, exactly.
That was a part of the gimmick. But 5-hour WrestleMania, come on, they're going to have to do something, because this is what a lot of people are spending their money to tune in for. And I'll throw a little bit of a rebuttal to the fans that have been complaining about Kevin Owens dropping the title to Bill Goldberg. WrestleMania is for the casual fan. That's where the casual fan sinks their teeth into wrestling. That's when they do, is WrestleMania season. The marks and the regulars are always going to be there. But when it pertains and relates to the casual fan, you can bet your bottom dollar that those casual fans return for WrestleMania every year.
I got to stop you for just a quick second.
Hold on. No,
Okay,
hold on.
All right.
Can you really ask 100% of those casual fans who Kevin Owens is, and 100% of them will be able to answer you, opposed to asking that same demographic of people who Bill Goldberg is? So when it pertains to marquee and the casual fans, this Brock Lesnar-Bill Goldberg match at WrestleMania makes so much sense, Dave, whether people like it or not. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I got some logic problems with what you just said. A few logic problems. Actually, a lot.
That.
Like serious logic
that.
problems. And I'll tell you what. I think it's the exact opposite of what you just said. The casuals have proven that no matter what, they're coming back. It's us hardcores.
That's what I said.
No, you said.
That's what I said.
No. You said.
What I said is that 100% of the casuals won't be able to tell you who Kevin Owens are.
What you said was WrestleMania's for the casuals, and I don't agree with that.
Okay, what I'm saying is the casual fans, 100% of them know who Bill Goldberg is.
That's not my point.
100% of them do not know. Well, that was my point.
Yeah, I know, but I'm speaking to that, but you didn't let me do it. So.
Sorry, you're cutting out quite a bit here.
Oh, are you not able to hear me?
I'm seeing a blue spindle thing quite often.
It's not my fault. Your internet sucks. It's not my fucking problem. All I know is I'm trying to have a discussion, and you keep telling me I'm wrong, motherfucker. I don't appreciate it.
I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm not telling you you're wrong.
I can't get my point out.
You're clear now. So you're clear now. So dish it out to me again,
okay,
bro.
Now, I think your logic based off of what WrestleMania is for is backwards. I think WrestleMania is more for the hardcores, not the casuals. Casuals are always here. That doesn't really matter. You need to look at Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom is in a hardcore company, even more for the hardcore. WrestleMania is in that same type of vein. It's a spectacle that is supposed to remind everybody why we love this company. That's what it's intended to do. It's the payoff or the start, depending on who you're asking. The casuals. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's the Super Bowl of wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling where every fan of every different team tune in to watch only two teams, no matter who those two teams are.
Yeah, it's fans of the sport. I agree. But when you're trying to please a certain demographic at WrestleMania, I don't know who you would be going to more. Like who's more important. I'm in agreement with you with the Kevin Owens thing. They should have took the title off of him. But again, my original statement had nothing to do with any of that. It was about Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg being able to wrestle more than 3 minutes, which if you watched the last match that Goldberg wrestled with Kevin Owens, which he did not do anything in, he was a puddle of sweat by the time he had to deliver that spear. He looked like he was going to fucking die, Andre. That concerns me. He is not in good cardio condition. It just doesn't look like it at all to me right now. I'm actually genuinely concerned. And if he's got to take moves from Brock, which he did take an F5, which he basically no-sold afterwards, but that's okay. It was on it. It's not a big deal. But if he's got to take moves and he is not prepared to do so, which his physical condition that I'm seeing so far is telling me he may not be, I think you have to keep this match short. Just for the integrity of the event. If you try to push these guys longer than 5 minutes and it doesn't work, your whole that's all anyone's going to talk about. Everything else on WrestleMania is pointless and irrelevant. All anyone's going to talk about is how the fuck could they think that those two could do 20 minutes. That's my word.
You eliminate things like running the ropes. Mm-hmm. You eliminate stuff like that, and you eliminate any type of portion of the match that would blow you up. You can work a slow match. Triple H has done it his whole career, buddy. And these are veterans.
I agree with all of that.
Whether people like Bill Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, the fact is both of them were in the business or have been in the business long enough that they could work a slow psychology-based match with some jarring to the fans to slow it down. There's all types of things that they can do to slow the pace down and extend the pace of the match. Or extend the time of the match, Dave.
It seems like he's blowing up on the way to the ring. And I mean, it doesn't seem like he's got anything left. And we know the entrances in WrestleMania are important as well. I'm just worried about how it's going to come off. So on the first fantasy booking type thing, let me ask you this, because I think it's an important question. This is one of the most talked about things going into WrestleMania. Where do you place the match? Does it end like I think it's going to? Where do you put it?
The Goldberg Brock Lesnar match?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely not, because that's the number 2 main title. You make the WWE Championship the main event.
I don't think they're going to do that. Mainly because the Raw title is the Raw title is always the main title. It's just doesn't matter what it's called. It's always the main title. Lineage
tells me otherwise, Dave.
In what way?
They're going to put it. They're going to feature a title that's less than 2 years old, opposed to a title that's 60 plus years.
Yes, and here's why. Well, they've done it in the past. The World Heavyweight title has closed the show, but in the past they've done it. It's whatever's the more important title has historically been on Monday Night Raw.
Good comeback there with the WCW Big Gold.
They've done it. So that's not a big deal. The bigger thing to me is the names. The names involved is dictating who's ending. Who are you going to have and close the show? Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, or Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar? It's to me, and it's a way to elevate that title, that young title. It's a way to make it the standard is by closing the show.
It depends on the reset, Dave, because we all know that WrestleMania is the reset button for the next year of coming storylines. If they have something super huge and lengthy in store for Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and possibly add someone else into the mix to extend that, I think that it would make more sense to have the final shocking moment when whoever's implemented into the storyline or whatever the reset to this may be. It leaves that what WCW left at the end of every show, that suspense factor. Because we know that Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania is almost as big as SummerSlam is technically. When people,
huge. It's huge.
Yeah. Most important Raw of the year.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
Will be the Raw this coming Monday.
Yeah.
So what do you think in that regard? What do you think in that regard, Dave? When I present it like that? When you place
it like that, I still, because of how important Monday is, because they want to make that title more important, that is still a young title, and because of the fact that the two names are just bigger than the other two. And one other point, and I'm going to make that in a second. I still think it's going to close the show. And the biggest point that I think why you can't put that match anywhere else, for all the reasons I was talking about earlier, if that match is as bad as I think it's going to be, one way or the other. If it's a long match, short match, this match is going to be a fucking train wreck, dude. It's going to be awful.
You just spent a number.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You spent a number of minutes pushing that this is going to be a short, shitty, underwhelming, disappointing match. I know those last few words were my own words.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, that's what you were saying. So why would they place that out as the final moments of WrestleMania so people can leave WrestleMania going, what the fuck, or disappointed?
Just because the match is bad doesn't mean the moment's going to be bad. I think, and I already said this earlier, I think they're going to add something at the end of it to make it palatable, to make it a big moment, bigger than the match itself. I think what their plan here is to make Brock Lesnar look not just good, unstoppable. Monster.
Oh, they have to save face.
Yes.
Whatever.
So that's another reason why I think it's going to be a squash. The other thing is, too, if anybody has to follow this, and it does suck, it's going to take everybody out. They do not want to risk anything else getting booed. So I think that there's no question it has to be at the end of the show. That's the way I look at it.
And another aspect, another nuance or layer, I think Brock Lesnar should get multiple spears, multiple jackhammers, and continue to get up and get up and get up and get in Bill Goldberg's head. I think that would be the best storyline to present throughout this match. But
I wish they would have gone a different way after he lost.
Either or, Dave. Mm-hmm. Whether it be Undertaker, whether it be Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, or Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, I do think they're going to have to add some sort of tweak to either continue one of them or end the other one of them.
Yeah. The problem I also see is shit. I totally forgot what I was about to say. Oh well, doesn't. Oh yes, had they gone and worked this a little bit different, booked this differently after Goldberg beat Lesnar the first time, I would have liked to have seen like a grizzled Brock Lesnar, like a disheveled Paul Heyman, not the same Brock Lesnar come back. That way, this would make sense if he took multiple spears and multiple jackhammers, but they didn't. He's still the same Brock. It's still the same Paul. They didn't really play that up enough, I felt. And now, if he takes one or two, doesn't really matter. It's like...
Important, Dave, reset. That's what this night will be all about. It will be resetting, presenting the new Lesnar moving forward. It'll be packaging and representing the new Wyatt or Orton moving forward, or what have you. That's what this night's all about, Dave.
To an extent, yeah, I agree with that.
Change. Expect change.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. I think if you're looking for 22, I think you might be disappointed.
No, what I'm saying is 15 plus, max 22.
We'll see.
This is WrestleMania.
Very true. But you've got Ambrose and Corbin. You've got Triple H.
Yeah,
and
that can be
Seth
that
Rollins.
can be that can be an 8 to 10 minute match right
You've
there.
You've got Jericho and Owens that is going to tear down the fucking house. You've got
that'll have everybody interactive. I think that'll be a very interactive match for the fans. I think that'll be a good one.
I think it's gonna be a great match. That might
steal the show.
I think
that
so
might
too.
steal the show.
I think so too. You got AJ and Shane, which you know they're going to give time to. That's going to be a featured match.
That'll be a 25-minute match easily.
And you also have, I think they're going to try and get the cruiserweights on track here with Austin Aries and Neville. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know you're just bing, 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 bing today.
Well.
I want to take some time and focus on some. I had some wicked fantasy thing I wanted to present, but I totally forgot what it was.
We can always go back to points. I mean, I'm trying to make points too, but that's fine.
You're kicking ass, Dave. You're kicking ass.
That's no worries. Okay, so with all that being said, let's move to the Undertaker fan. You know what? Screw all that. What do you want to see? If you're booking, you want to hit the fantasy stuff. What do you want to see? Then we'll take some calls.
What do I want to see?
Yeah, you're booking this thing now. Congratulations! You got the keys to the kingdom. Vince trusts you.
I would have liked to have seen Undertaker and Sting come out of retirement for a light booked match, and then Undertaker and Sting can both retire and ride off into the sunset. It would be a beautiful moment. They could have the big handshake, or even Sting could drop down on one knee and do the Undertaker pose, and Taker can go like this to the, you know what I mean? A nice, beautiful moment. That would be nice. Have two legends ride off into the sunset. So that would be one match that I'd book. I'd leave the Brock Lesnar Goldberg thing. I think that's fine. That brings in numbers. I'd leave the Jericho Kevin Owens thing. That's great. I would ultimately book John Cena in a different spot, not an intergender match. I think that they could draw some money, maybe bringing in a part-timer that out of the handful of superstars that they bring back once in a while for WrestleMania or whatnot. Maybe The Rock, but, you know, I think that intergender match, even though I do have a level of interest in it, Dave, I do think that they could have capitalized better booking John Cena with a bigger star in a singular match.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. I didn't understand the thought. It goes back to since we're going backwards and talking about Sting and all that stuff, I guess we can go back to as far as Royal Rumble. Two things happened at Royal Rumble that I didn't quite understand. The main one being Randy Orton winning. If you want to go the route of having John Cena continue his title reign, which he did also win at Royal Rumble, taking the belt off of a very hot AJ Styles, which ultimately he's getting a good match, so it doesn't really matter. To have there you go. There's the phenomenal one right there. To have, I just think they missed an opportunity. Cena and Wyatt made all the sense in the fucking world here.
There you go.
It seemed, or even Cena Undertaker makes more sense than what we're getting. I don't I feel there is something happening behind the scenes with John Cena and WWE, and I don't think it's good. The way that they wrote off his 16th title reign, barely giving it any pay mind to, the tying of Ric Flair, didn't really even seem to mention it. He loses the title 2 weeks later, out of nowhere singly, and then he gets an intergender match, to push Total Divas, to push Total Bellas? I don't get it. It just, something is wrong. Their relationship has changed, and I think it will come out.
It could be contractually. It could be contractually.
Could be. You think it could just be being 40 and going into mainstream?
Could be. Maybe he's got the Hollywood bug, Dave.
Yep.
And it's nothing. It's nothing new. It's not like John Cena is new when it comes to full feature films.
No.
Even other films with triple X super. Have you seen the girl who it was that Cena got with, that porn star?
No,
she's a cougar. She's a cougar. That's for sure. Good looking cougar.
Which one? It wasn't Lisa Ann,
She's a porn
was it?
star. Yeah, the one he cheated on his wife with.
Was it? Who did John Cena?
I think her name's Kendra something.
Oh shit!
Kendra something.
John...
Vans. Do you know? Vans?
No, I don't. Actually, I do not know this. Hold on.
I bet you there's a fan listening that does know.
Porn star. Who porn star? Which porn star did he get with?
Kendra is the name that comes out, but I can't remember the rest of the name.
Okay.
But
now the porn star has denied it was Ken. It might be Kendra Lust, who I do know.
That's who it is.
Yeah, it was Kendra Lust. Kendra Lust has denied this. She denied the rumor, whether it's true or not. I have no idea, but she has denied the rumor vehemently. I know that. Still, she's fine. She's fine as hell. I don't know if she's Nikki Bella, but she's fine. I do like me some.
Oh no, he's doing good. John's doing good.
Now,
who knows? Maybe she's Dave. It could be something that maybe she slowly worked away at him and convinced him to possibly have a child. We know he doesn't want to have one, and he's stated it publicly before. But when it pertains to personal lives of these superstars, things change, right?
Sure.
Maybe he wants to dedicate himself to a family instead of being on the road 300 days. Like him or not, one thing people cannot take away from this man is buying into the company, believing in the company, and sacrificing for the company and to the company. I will never take any of that away from this gentleman, who I think is a decent athlete that is somewhat uncoordinated. Yeah. But let's be real here.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying, let's be real here. Things change in life, and the guy is dedicated and has put his time in. Maybe he's had enough.
Which I think is part of the reason now. All of that makes a lot of sense as well. Maybe nothing has changed between John Cena and WWE. Maybe this is all part of that. There is a lot of rumor that he is going to be taking a significant amount of time off after WrestleMania. He will be shooting another major film, all of that stuff. We know that to be true. Now, aside from not getting that match and everything kind of being blown away, there is the possibility here that this is just continuing of John being a company guy. And this is all about Total Bellas and Total Divas and all of that, because most people think that there is going to be, whatever the outcome of the match is, the ending, the final afterwards is going to be John Cena proposing in the middle of the ring to Nikki Bella. Do you think that happens?
I've heard that teased by Don Tony, who will join us on our show at some point. I think it'd be a nice moment. Yeah. I think it would be a nice moment, but how would they do that? Would they have the Miz and Maurice attack after he proposed to her? Or, you know what I mean? There's a number of things that they could do, but that would be a nice moment.
I don't think they have him attack. I think that you have Cena and Bella. I originally thought this was going to have a retirement angle to it, where Nikki was going to lose her career. That's what I thought, seeing, and then they would lose the match. That would have been a great booking. Yeah, I thought so. Then they would lose the match. Nikki's got nothing, but John proposes. Beautiful story. I think
Yeah, that would be great, Dave.
With the reset that you were talking about, being kind of the paramount thing here, kind of getting through this so we can get to the next thing. I think having Miz and Maurice lose really doesn't do anything to hurt them long term. It gets Maurice back in the ring if she wants to become a wrestler again. The Miz is going to continue to be the Miz regardless of what happens at this point. So they can lose. They don't have to attack afterwards. They can just kind of clear the ring and let John and Nikki have their moment regardless. It doesn't really matter. So that's how I see that going down. I would have loved to have seen this have a retirement angle. It would have been really cool.
And Maurice has already discussed it publicly that she has some butterflies and whatever. So I truly agree with you, Dave. I don't think it would discredit either or to lose to Cena and Nikki here.
Let's talk about one more big thing, one more big match, and we'll get to some questions after that, whether it be in the chat or whether it be calls coming in, which I do want to try to limit because Skype is an absolute cunt. But the match that everybody...
I'll get that Discord shit there soon, Dave.
We got to get Grandpa Corbeil on Discord, no question. Now, the big match that people seem to have the most concern about, even more than Lesnar and Goldberg, is Undertaker and Roman Reigns.
Oh, he should have said it many times, Dave.
It's happening. What are they going to do here? What do they do?
He needs to walk off in the sunset. He needed to do it 2 years ago. Regardless of Vince making him feel obligated to do it once a year and a couple appearances, this guy doesn't need to give any more to the company unless it's behind the curtain.
Sure.
Everybody in the industry respects him. He could assume an executive role somewhere back in backstage or whatnot, or in the corporate offices. I would assume backstage. Because I truly feel, Dave, that the company and the roster would benefit more from him being an not off-air talent, but a behind-the-scenes talent.
An agent. Let's use the word that we're probably going with. An agent. Somebody, a Finley type of guy. He's got all the respect in the world. You might as well use it. I agree with that. Only issue is Undertaker seems to still want to be doing a lot of this stuff. That's why he gets himself back into shape that he does. I just think his body's failing.
I think that's out of an obligation, Dave.
Maybe.
I go back to last year where he collapsed. It's no secret. After the match, he collapsed. Did you see the footage?
Oh yeah, I saw. I remember. It's happened a couple of times. It's happened a couple.
He should have retired 2 years ago, my brother.
Oh, I agree. You don't got to sell me on that. I agree 100%.
The entertainment value that this man, Mark Calloway, has given us over the years, we shouldn't be asking him for anything else.
I agree.
Nostalgia or not, people. You know, sometimes it's best to go away.
Undertaker is more important than I think most people even realize. Earlier this week, you and I did a show, Worst Gimmicks of All Time. You could make the argument that Undertaker gimmick could have been anybody else plays that character, it's the worst gimmick to ever live. Nobody can play that gimmick. Nobody. That is a hard fucking gimmick, man. I don't think anybody else could have pulled that off. It could have been the worst.
I think going back to the infancy of the Undertaker, I think there is one other person that would have been able to come off with a tweaked version. Not as good as Mark's version, but Psycho Sid.
You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because physically, he's every bit as talented. Maybe can't do some of the more vertical things that Taker was able to do, but gifted. I'm a big fan of Sid as well. Maybe not the best promo guy in the world. Let's start that again. But
I may not be the smartest guy in the world, but
what do you say? But I've got half the brains that you have.
You remember Kevin Nash just putting his hand over his mouth in the ring, shaking his head. I felt so bad for Sid, but
it's so good.
It did damage him in the eyes of the fans. You either loved Sid or you didn't like him, and a lot of people loved Sid.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still to this day that leg snap thing is one of the one of the hardest things I've ever seen in a I don't know if I've ever seen anything worse in a goddamn wrestling ring, man.
Can you imagine a twist to that? If that was Sid playing like an Undertaker role, that happens, and then he sits up with the leg.
Just flapping.
That's Undertaker stood up.
Oh my God. Jesus.
My friend Terry Dupre, my best friend growing up, showed that to me many, many years ago. And we watched it about 20 times, Dave. And right to the 20th time, we still had that same cringe reaction watching it. It was just so, wow.
I can't watch it to this day. Going back to the question though, with Taker and Reigns, what do? I mean, we know what we know they're having the match. So is it too late to maybe insert Strowman in here? Is that why he's still been around? What do they do? Because I can't trust Roman Reigns to take care of The Undertaker. Maybe I should, I just don't. And I'm not even saying it because Roman is so awful. I mean, he is awful, but it's not the reason why I just don't trust him to take care of Undertaker at this stage.
I would.
Really?
I would, Dave. People can, sorry, I feel like I've got a burp here. A lot of people don't like Roman Reigns. I kind of fall into that bracket.
Yeah.
But one thing people can't say or take away from can't say about or take away from Roman Reigns is the fact that he respects the industry.
Yeah.
He comes from a wrestling family, and whether you like him or not, he does respect the legacy and the history of this industry. And when it pertains and relates to legends and guys that are wrestling in their last stages of their career, I would trust someone who respects the legacy and the history of the business going through a match with a legend, because they're going to keep that foremost in their in their mind while working that match. So I do trust.
The respect part, I don't worry about that. I worry about physically Roman being able to protect the Undertaker. Roman's his muscle, his body, it's show. It's not go. He's not an overly strong guy. We've seen him struggle with bigger men very often, very, very often. And I think
Tony, what the fuck are you doing up there?
Is that the cat?
Get down. Oh, Jesus.
Is that your cat?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Let me give you a play-by-play.
Yes, this is great.
It's WCW. It's the late 90s. It's the rafters in the arenas. And it's an orange furry cat with a little baseball bat staring down from behind the spotlight that is lighting up this studio. And I'm being stared at by this feline that, I don't know, I guess he's going to get away with it because we're recording.
Yeah, he's going to get away with it. And he might come down or maybe through the ring and give you a scorpion death drop. Who the fuck knows? That's, oh, my God.
Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Come on, hungry.
Come on, food, hungry. Get down here, you fucking goddamn cat.
It looks like it's working. It
Is
looks
it
like it's working. Hungry, hungry.
Andre Corbeil cat whisperer.
You better not break any. You better not break any of those wine bottles up there.
Not the one.
Come on.
Oh shit! You can hear that.
Come on. Good boy. That's the magic word, wrestling fans. Hungry.
Hungry. That's right. Well, you know that's true.
Hungry.
Who wins? Taker, Reigns.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
it's Roman Reigns that's gonna win. Roman Reigns is gonna win, buddy.
You think
what
so?
What does Undertaker have to gain? I said, bro, this guy's got nothing more to give, other than passing the torch.
I have a worry.
The whole premise of this feud, Dave, has been, this is my yard now.
Yeah.
This is my yard now. So, like, look between the lines. Other than passing the torch, it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
I have a concern. I actually believe there's a chance, not a high probability, but I think there is a chance that Taker is going to win this match. I feel what they've done over the last 6 months with Roman Reigns, with some of the ups and more importantly the downs, using him as arguably the biggest troll job in the history of wrestling at the Royal Rumble. I feel that this is all for a purpose, and I feel this is the ultimate line for him to become a heel. And I think him losing the Undertaker is a way to that jumping off, that big moment for him to allow to have that big heel turn, whether it be that night or the night after, when I do believe he'll be moving to SmackDown. I think that that's where they could be going with it. So if that means giving one more win to Taker, I don't know if that's something I'm necessarily going to be against, because I think he's not done. I think he will be back for another WrestleMania, possibly 2 more.
I hear you, Dave.
But
I hear you, Dave, but I don't know, man.
I know. I don't like it either. I'm not saying this with gusto.
This is the guy that has the most impressive WrestleMania record ever. One that I doubt will ever be broken. Maybe someday. Who knows? Maybe. This is wrestling. But him losing another WrestleMania match doesn't hurt his legacy. Why would you put an old... I don't want to say goat, but why would you want to put an old goat over when the young buck is coming up? You know?
Well, I mean, they had him win last year, and they had him beat Bray Wyatt. I mean, they've had him win the last couple of years against guys that he could have lost to, and they didn't.
Everybody beat Bray Wyatt.
I agree with that.
Everybody beat Bray Wyatt when Bray should have been the one going over.
Oh, I agree with that, but I just think if they want to keep the status quo with Roman, then yeah, you have him win. He's going to get booed out of the building. It's another one of those moments that could potentially halt the show. That's another reason why I think that there's a chance.
You got to piss off the fans too. I
don't know if you do it at WrestleMania. They're so worried about the show being hijacked. They seem to be very concerned with that a lot of the times now. And if that's the case,
Dave,
I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
Dave, wrestlers pass the torch.
I agree.
Undertaker, I don't think will be able to go at WrestleMania 34.
I don't know, but he might.
When it's your last chance, hold on, bro. When it's your last chance to pass the torch, it's your last chance. And WWE has had problems building superstars over the years. They always pull the rug out from underneath their feet when it's the crucial time to really put them over to that next level. And regardless whether people like Roman Reigns or not, this is going to put Roman Reigns to the next level.
I don't know if it will. I'm not 100% sure of that. I don't think him beating Undertaker is really going to significantly change what people think about him.
Yeah, but Dave,
nothing else.
What if he has no mercy and grabs a chair out of the crowd and beats the shit out of the Undertaker after the match and doesn't stop and the boos get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder.
That's one way.
And then
they
finally,
do that, yeah.
And then finally you have that ultimate heel turn that needs to happen for the guy because he's as exciting as a baked potato with no toppings.
I agree with that if that's the way they're going to go, but I just don't see them beating down the Undertaker like that. If it's anybody else, I could see it. I just don't see them doing that to the Undertaker in this situation. That's my concern. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I think that they're going to go the opposite route with Roman Reigns' heel turn. It's going to be more out of him losing frustration rather than him beating up the Undertaker after he already beat him. That doesn't make sense.
And what doesn't make sense?
Him winning and then beating him up even more. I mean, it's a heel turn for just the sake of heel turn. I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, and that's why he's my tag team partner, because he won't agree with whatever the quo is just for the purpose of agreeing. I like it. Either of us back down, and
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too. I think it makes it fun. It makes it fun.
I'm not an expert. I don't. If it doesn't make sense to me, I can't force myself to make sense. And I'm not even saying that what you're saying doesn't make sense. It's just the situation is so fucked up. And how do you unfuck a completely fucked situation? If you remember my 2017 preview show, I stated, and I still believe this is going to be true, Roman Reigns does not hold a title this year, a major world title. I still believe it to be true.
he already was punished after the wellness policy infraction. He's been punished for a while. And Dave, I can't believe you're forcing me to defend Roman Reigns.
I know, isn't it great? You did it to me earlier this fucking week. So you know what? I had to defend the Hardys. Motherfucker, defend Roman Reigns.
Isn't it funny how that turns out sometimes?
Isn't it great? You would think that I almost had it planned this way, but no, I couldn't have done that.
Did you?
Could I? Could I? I'm a bad boy, baby. You want to take some callers?
Sure.
Let's open up them phone lines. Call in now on Skype. David Vank here at the AVIDVANCURA. And, of course, that number 702-751-2902. Also, please go ahead and throw the questions in the chat. We will hit them as fast as humanly possible. And go into my Discord and put your questions in wrestling questions. And we will answer all of them. Yeah, it's... So, final, as we're bringing in Will Dillon, what's the expectation for WrestleMania, Andre? I mean, bottom line. What's your going in?
7 out of 10, baby.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It'll be long. Some of it will be hard to get through. And it'll be a 7 out of 10 come the end of the night. It'll still be a good, enjoyable night.
They will take a 7 out of 10. I guarantee you that. Let's bring in the man from Scotland with the voice you'll never quite understand. He's my good buddy. He's Rodmasade on Twitter. He is Gaming Fault on YouTube. The one, the only, Will Dillon. What's up, pal?
Hey guys, it's just a quick question about WrestleMania. This is obviously a big WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
But who do you think will have the big WrestleMania moment come Sunday?
Andre?
Huh. Well, I think Jericho and Owens are going to steal the show. Okay, I'll just say it. Edge, he's going to return.
Yes.
The Edge there.
I had to bring this out for you, Lindsay. I promised you I would.
I remember Dave told you last time that you should bring that
nice.
one down and feature that one. Match of the night, I think will be Owens versus Jericho. Who will have the WrestleMania moment? Oh, shit.
I'm going to give you a clue, Andre. You're wearing his shirt. The man who's going to have the moment that everyone's going to be talking about the next day is going to be AJ Styles. He's going to do something phenomenal, folks. Keep your eyes peeled on that match. AJ is not going to allow this match to suck. Plain and simple. I don't think Shane will.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Something special is going to happen in that match. Not sure what. Something's going to happen.
This is probably the best matchup in-ring ability-wise that Shane McMahon has been involved in this new era.
Oh, in this new era. Okay, I was about to say, don't tell that to Kurt Angle.
No. In this new era. Yeah. Let's be realistic here.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, just like the announcers, they try to sell every next WrestleMania. It's going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Bullshit.
Well, they have to. They can't say, well, next year won't be as good as this year. So, you know, you show up if you want. That's not good promotion. It's always got to be better. AJ seems to be poised for that moment, mainly because everybody's expecting Finn Balor to be at WrestleMania. No, sir. Finn Balor won't be at WrestleMania. That's another prediction that I have. Finn Balor is going to show up the next night on Monday Night Raw when AJ Styles gets traded to Monday Night Raw. And they're going to go right into a program.
I do believe that AJ is on his way to Raw.
Yep.
It makes the most sense. He's proved that he can be the big fish in the second biggest pond. Now it's time to go swim in the big lake.
Yep. I agree.
And I'm not taking anything away from SmackDown fans. It's a lot of times more of an enjoyable show. I've always been a fan of the 2-hour wrestling program more so than the long drawn out 3-hour. That's for pay-per-views. But yeah, we're getting 5 this year. So with all of that
5 plus 2 pre-show, 7.
Oh,
what you know about them? 7.
I don't think I will tune into the pre-show this year. I just have too many things going on in my life. You know.
No, fair. That's completely fair. I'm debating what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm okay. talk me out of this, guys, if you want, because this might be crazy. But I'm thinking about going live for the entire goddamn thing. Lottie Dottie,
You know
everybody.
you want to do it.
7 hours live reaction. I'm thinking about it.
Do it, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Do it.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt my chesticles.
I agree. It's going to hurt as well, dude.
It's gonna hurt.
Going to do it, Dave.
Probably, more than likely. Will, you got any more questions for us, Mr. Dillon?
No, guys, I totally agree. It's Kevin Owens, Jericho, I think will be the match of the night, and WrestleMania moment. You cannot look elsewhere than AJ Styles. That I see what everybody else seen. I'd never really watched AJ because I was just WWE guy. That's all I ever watched. And when he came to WWE, I seen what the fuss was all about, and he's blown me away.
I think better than advertised.
Unbreakable 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Type that in, Will, on YouTube.
Yeah.
AJ, Joe, and Daniels.
Unbelievable match.
Unbreakable 2005. That's pretty much his greatest match I've ever seen. It's definitely the best three-way match I've ever seen in wrestling.
I agree with that. I think it might be the greatest triple threat match to ever take place. It's going to instantly go into your top 10 matches of all time. It is a, for no pun intended, phenomenal fucking match.
Unbreakable 2005. Will check that out before you forget.
It's really good.
I'll watch it after the stream.
Because I'm gonna fucking grill you next week when you come. Actually, we won't be doing a show next week.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to. I'm trying to figure out. This week is going to be insane. This week is going to be nuts. This week is going to be absolutely bananas, dude. I'm telling you. I'm doing nothing but wrestling this week. I'm doing Monday Night Raw live reaction. I'm doing SmackDown live reaction. I'm doing NXT live reaction. I have a series of shows planned throughout the week that I'm going to give you 1 3 to 5 minute show each and every single day, pre-recorded, of something of the greatest WrestleMania something. It might be wrestler, might be match. I'm going to give you 5 of them, one a day. I'm not sure what yet, but it's going to happen. And also, we're putting together a 4-man panel. Andre Corbeil, myself, Ginger Heat, and one man yet to be determined for a WrestleMania roundtable where we're going to talk about some of the things that we talked about tonight and many, many other things. So.
And are we doing that? We're doing that on your network?
Yes,
which day, Dave?
I'd like to do it Wednesday. I know that's because you and I usually record anyway. So I figure, is that possible for you or just?
I don't know. I don't know because we're also doing a roundtable.
Oh, that's right.
On our other show.
That's right.
So
maybe I'll scrap mine. Maybe I'll just scrap mine. I'm not worried about it. I got so much content this week that maybe I'll just scrap mine. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. Not a big old deal.
I don't like making you have to backpedal. That doesn't settle right.
But no, I'm doing so much this week. Trust me, the Deadites will fucking forgive me. There's so much going on. Will, you big beautiful man, I'm gonna get you out of here. Thanks a lot for the call, buddy.
Spin that baby.
Spin that belt. Spin that thing. Spin it. Yeah, beautiful.
Peace out, guys.
Well done, everybody. Rodimus8 on the Twitters. Gaming Fault on the YouTube. Good man. We're taking some calls, some questions, some comments, some concerns. We have some questions in the chat. Sleeping Angels asks, why do you think WWE don't build WrestleMania anymore?
Not like they used to, though, Dave. Not like they used to.
I don't know if... I think part of the reason is maybe they simply don't have to. It's got a name.
I agree. But it's less effort, you know?
For like year-round, there used to be a time where they would build 3-4 months out. There'd be a story that was being told that we're going to WrestleMania. They don't do that anymore for any event any longer. I was just gonna suggest to the fans that may be younger to go watch the build of WrestleMania 3, 3 to 4 months before WrestleMania 3 on Saturday night's main event and Superstars and whatnot. That's
putting full effort in and really hook, lining, and sinkering the fans. They don't go to those extents anymore, Dave. And you're right, they don't have to. And they ultimately proved that last year, breaking that record from the Silver Dome with a lot less promotion storyline-wise. Yeah. I can't speak for promotion around the Dallas area or wherever, you know? It was Dallas, right?
Yes, it was the Jerry World. You still there? I lost you for a second.
Yeah, I heard Jerry World.
Yeah, the big old Dallas. I'm sorry, I was trying to bring in somebody else into the call, and my Skype is like, cunt. It's just the worst thing in the world. I hate it.
Dead on Dave going Scottish on you.
I fucking hate it. I hate Skype. It really drives me nuts. I'm looking for other questions in the chat because I really don't want to short people on questions. I really don't. We're still taking calls. I'll just have to hang up on Andre for a second. Not a big deal. PBS Sweetie Pie said he would like to Miz and Maurice beat Cena and Bella clean. Won't happen though. Probably not.
I'd like to see that too. Maurice is the greatest.
You do have a Maurice obsession. You know that? You really do. What do you think about the cruiserweight situation? Do you think that anybody's going to give a shit even if Aries and Neville tear the house down, which I am 100% sure they're going to?
Maurice.
Okay, fair enough. Andre, I'm going to hang up on you for a second. I'm going to bring you back in 2 seconds, okay? Don't go anywhere, old man. 2 seconds. All right, let's bring in Old School Matt. Old School Matt, hang out for just one moment. I'm going to bring back in the man, Andre Corbeil. God, I hate Skype. I wish it would get AIDS and die. I absolutely hate it. We're bringing them both in here. Old School Matt, you're live with Dead on Dave and Andre Corbeil in just a moment. What do you have for us? I'm speaking slowly to try.
Honestly, there's something Andre said earlier that I fully agree with.
Okay.
Andre said that WrestleMania is about the casual fans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he kind of argues against himself of saying stuff like that. For example, he also said when it comes to WrestleMania, the WWE World Heavyweight title is the most important belt. That's what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your main champion on any pay-per-view closes the show. That's Wrestling 101, my friend.
Used to be. WWE's gone a different route.
Fair enough.
Now, Andre, I agree with that concept, but when you say WrestleMania is about the casual fans, it works against itself.
No, WrestleMania is ending the year's storylines and hitting the reset button for the next year. That's mainly what it's about. But when it pertains to fans, it's mainly catering to the casual fan because the normal fans are always going to be there. And WrestleMania is bigger than the rest of the WWE pay-per-views, so therefore it caters to the casual fan in that regard, right?
Us hardcores go away all the time. I think it's the opposite. The hardcores go away. We have other interests. The older we get, the more flighty we are. We're never fucking happy. These kids are buying merch. We are occasionally when we fucking feel like it. These kids are having their mommies and daddies buying merch all year fucking round because wrestling is still great to them because they don't know enough to think about it in the way that we do. My favorite meme I've ever seen to deal with wrestling is this little kid decked out in full-on John Cena gear. And the meme says, I don't care that John Cena can't do more than 5 holds. I'm 9 years old and I'm happy. It's like my favorite thing.
And this goes back to, you told me that Hogan was your favorite, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, absolutely.
3 moves. That didn't matter to you, right?
Of course, because again, it's the kids. It's those casuals who are always going to be around. They're regenerative. Children are always coming. So WrestleMania, while they're going to be coming anyway, their parents, it's the hardcores that they got to keep bringing back in. That's
and what's the name of our caller?
This is Old School Matt.
Old School Matt? I have a question to pose at you. Do you think WWE Matt would be able to break 100,000 attendance with a Backlash pay-per-view?
Hell no.
WrestleMania's for the casual fan, and the resetting of the storylines.
I'm not denying the fact that seems to be the point, but what I'm getting at is your argument for a second was sort of conflicting itself in my head, because I don't see the World Heavyweight title as a casual title. I see the Universal title as more of the casual title belt in WWE.
Yeah,
so I figure
it's the secondary.
I'm sorry, boys. It's not the secondary belt. That is the main title. I know you guys want to think that it's not, but it's not. Nobody gives a shit about Bray Wyatt holding this belt.
How many champions have there been?
Does not matter. Who's holding that belt?
It does matter.
No, not
That's
anymore.
why you look at the Stanley Cup, Dave.
No,
that's why you look at the Stanley Cup, which is the most prestigious trophy out there, and the whole trophy.
Different.
And the whole trophy is etched.
Apples
with
and
the
oranges.
History and the lineage.
Apples and oranges. They're two different things. The man holding the belt right now is Bill Goldberg. He is the man. That belt is the belt. It is Raw's title. That is the title. Bray Wyatt is not the face of this company. He's not even in the top five faces of this company.
Fair enough. And that's the problem with the brand split. Yep. It creates these types of holes, black holes, right?
I don't think it's necessarily a problem if it's done properly. And that's the thing.
I'm not saying it's a problem, but it doesn't make sense to have a main title with no history as your feature title opposed to a title with 60 plus years history.
I don't know if the history matters as much anymore. I just don't know. It should. I agree. No, it should. I agree with you 100%. I just don't think WWE is necessarily looking at it in that. Obviously, they created a new belt for a reason. They wanted to start this draft and this brand split differently. They wanted to do it differently. They wanted to make these two shows equals, put them on equal footing. And they felt
they had to, Dave, because it didn't work last time. They had to do something different.
Exactly.
I agree.
So by creating a new title and instantly that's why Finn Balor got the belt originally. Finn Balor was going to be that guy. He got hurt.
Absolutely.
There's nothing they could do about that. So they put it on the next guy that they thought all the indie guys and everybody would follow behind, and that was Kevin Owens. Didn't work the fuck out. Kevin Owens had a litany. Yes, litany, great word. Litany of problems. And
now it's Goldberg.
Now it's Goldberg. Now we're Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, and everyone's trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing. So
now, Dave, let me ask something. If you swapped those two belts out and put the Universal title on Bray and the World title on Goldberg, would that argument still be there?
As long as it's still in the same brands, it wouldn't matter. If the Universal title is representing Monday Night Raw, it's the main belt. That's just the way WWE views things. I'm convinced of it. It's how they've always done it. They did the exact same thing when the big gold brick was involved and when the big gold brick was on Raw, that was the main belt. That was it.
Bro, that wasn't even a title originated in the company, so it never was as important in WWE as the WWE Championship was.
Triple H holding that belt at that time, that was the main story in the company. That was during the brand split.
Story, but lineage. What did McMahon do with most of the stars that came in from that other company? Buried them and then made them prove themselves.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Ultimately pushing.
Let me ask you a question. When Triple H had the big gold brick as champion on Monday Night Raw, who was the champion on SmackDown?
What does that have to do with the WWE title being the main title in the company?
Because you can't name who that champion was at that time. That's the whole argument. You can't name him.
It didn't
matter.
I got to give the devil his due here. Dave's got a damn good point on this one.
And ask me the question again. Who was champion? What?
When Triple H?
Who was champion when Triple H had the big brick?
When he was beating Shawn Michaels in Elimination Chambers for that big gold brick. When he took the belt off of the big gold brick once again off of Goldberg. Who's champion on SmackDown? You can't remember.
Fuck, I can't even remember.
You can't remember because it wasn't the main title. I'm not saying how it should be, Andre. I agree with you. How it should have been the WWE title. But because it was Monday Night Raw, which is the flagship show, whatever belt, and this is what they're trying to do, again, is establish another belt as the main belt so they can be interchangeable. If they have to make the swaps, once again, it comes down to whoever has that title on Raw, especially when they're the bigger name, which Goldberg clearly is over Bray Wyatt, That's the main title. That's all I mean.
Okay, but not once did I not say that Raw wasn't the flagship show.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking in a sense of lineage.
I agree
here.
with that, but lineage and reality are two different things.
I
By
think
the
what
way,
Dave's saying
all
is,
you motherfuckers in the chat, all you assholes in the chat who are putting JBL 4 minutes after I answered the question, you Googling sons of bitches, you're not fooling anybody. You Googled. You didn't know. You Googled. You motherfuckers.
Andre, I think what Dave's saying is he's not saying that lineage isn't important, but he's saying that's how it should be. But unfortunately, that isn't the reality of things.
Well, we're arguing the same side, essentially. I mean, Andre, we are actually on the same side here of how things should be. But I think WWE, from a business standpoint, wants these two titles to be on equal footing. They don't want a secondary title anymore because they had that and it failed. It failed. It's one of the main reasons why the brand, because everybody viewed it as a secondary title. They don't want it to be that way. That's why they put the bigger lineage belt on the secondary show. So
that's
that would
the problem
the
when you
show.
have two number ones. You know what I mean? In reality, there's only one number one, you know?
Well, if in traditional everyday wrestling, you'd be right. But
I wish Go ahead.
But the fact that there's now two brands that are supposed to be equal, it's the whole reason why they put.
They're not equal, though. They're not equal, though. Let's not kid ourselves.
But they want them to be. They're within 400, 500,000 views on ratings. They're getting closer than they have been in a long time. But that's the whole reason why they put that.
Why is Raw the more important show, Dave? Because of lineage and longevity.
No, money.
Lineage and longevity. The longest running nightly weekly show. Come on.
Which allows them to get more money. But it allows them to get more money.
So it should be the same way. So it should be the same way with their championship titles.
Which, if that was true, then the WWE title would be on Raw. But it's not true.
It should be. It should be.
I agree. It should be. But again, we're talking about apples and oranges. It should.
But I understand what you're saying. To create a bigger splash for this secondary title, put it on the main show, make it mean more than it naturally would. If it was to appear on the secondary show.
And now they're putting it on Goldberg. They're trying to make this bigger. So in their eyes, that's the main belt. I mean, that's why, again, another reason why I think that it's closing the show. And I don't think it should. Again, I want people to understand. I'm not arguing that it should close the show. We all fucking know that it shouldn't close the show. This match shouldn't even be fucking happening in some regards. From a money standpoint, probably should, but the way they built it, absolutely not. It's a terrible build. People are not giving a flying fuck anymore.
It's not the best build, but the redemption, the seeds for redemption are there, Dave.
I'm worried. I am concerned.
Lesnar has to win. Lesnar has to win, or everything they built him over the years around means absolutely shit.
You could have said the exact same thing at Survivor Series, though. They had a chance to get the redemption story right at Survivor Series. He lost that match at WrestleMania. He was on a tear. He was the fucking man in WWE. He's killing everybody. Him beating Goldberg helped cement that legacy. Then he goes on to WrestleMania and has a big match putting somebody else over. That's the traditional thinking. That's the traditional logic. They decided to go away from that. And now we're all hoping that another thing doesn't happen that happened Survivor Series, where Bill Goldberg's like, well, you know what? Maybe I will stay around a little bit longer, because if you don't think that the WWE won't try to pull the same move they did at Survivor Series, if they think they can get 6 more months out of Goldberg and have another big match at SummerSlam, you'd be 100% wrong.
It's all about capital gain, buddy. It's all about capital gain. If it makes the company money, they'll go that direction.
I might kill myself, Andre. I'll fucking kill myself. I'll do it. I want to do it now. I want to fucking kill myself now.
And I don't know if anyone else realizes, but this is one of those situations where WWE making WrestleMania more inclined towards the casual viewers, a very dangerous prospect.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. This is a crazy WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to necessarily be a bad one, though, so we'll see what happens. Old School, you got anything else?
7 out of 10 is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to enjoy the pay-per-view.
Me too. Anything else, Mr. there, Old School?
I just got this to say. One of the reasons why they don't give a rat's ass about the fact that we buy merch is that we buy merch from WrestleCrate, not WWE directly.
That's right.
Oh,
Fucking
nice
WrestleCrate.
thought there.
The WrestleCrate. You know, last night I know you talked to Mr. Ryan Reeves. Fucking.
I thought it was Reeves, but I think it's one of Joe's impersonators. I don't know.
Oh, it wasn't actually
Ryback.
Ryback. Oh, that's funny. I thought you talked to Ryback. You got duped.
It sounded like him, and I was drunk.
Well, I was gonna say, which is more prestigious, Ryback or Andre Corbeil?
Oh, Ryback, easily.
Oh, fuck off! No, that's not true. It's Andre Corbeil. The answer is Andre Corbeil.
I gotta say Andre because, well, Andre's not a crybaby.
There you go. Shots fired
Hey,
at the Ryback.
watch my Jan Ross rest in peace video, and you'll have to take that back.
Take it easy, old school. That was beautiful, Andre. I'm sorry. What you did, the way you handled that was absolutely beautiful. It was magnificent.
Oh, I just can't contain my composure, buddy.
How could you? How could you? It's a shit fuck of a situation, man.
You ever try to beat something and you just can't, no matter how many different techniques or systems you apply to try and change that outcome? It just, I don't know.
I completely connect, and I think everybody who watched that video was able to connect with that.
Well, there's still a dislike. There's one person that disliked the video. I'm like, how can you dislike 100% true honesty? And like, okay.
It's probably because you brought me in, and people hate my fat fucking shit asshole face because I'm a big fat asshole.
Dave, you're on fire. Bullshit. I call bullshit. You're on fire.
Oh my God, we got 2 dislikes here. We had 2 dislikes before the show started. I got some haters, dude. I got some hateration.
Oh, have you seen this week's Andre Corbeil show, bro?
Yeah,
we have we have almost as many dislikes as likes. I think the Jeff Lane fans are a little hurt.
Yeah, I'm not for the sake of you and respect for you. I'm not saying anything else about that situation. We'll talk about that later on because fuck those guys. Anyway, okay. Anything else that we've missed that you might want to hit now before we get up out of here?
Andre Giant.
Yes, that's
Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant Battle Royal. What do you want to see happen in that?
Oh God, this is so hard for me because I got 2 ways of going. I'm like, all right, let's put over a new talent. Damn it, Luke Harper needs to win, or the world is coming to an end. Then the other one would be like, wouldn't it be kind of nice in what it seems to be Big Show's final WrestleMania, since his contract expires next February, his final WrestleMania to be the first, and I would assume going to be the only 2-time winner of the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So I think that one of those 2 options, that's where I'm looking at, but I'm not sure. Braun still's an option, of course, as well.
They need to do something bigger than that. He needs to stay in the upper echelon no matter what.
That's why I think they've kept him in the Roman Reigns Undertaker situation, because I do believe that's how remember when I said earlier that I think the Undertaker is going to win? I think this is the reason why. I think Strowman's going to be involved. It's not going to be clean. And I think a lot of people are assuming
who cares?
That it's going to be clean. I don't give a fuck. Dirty clean, that doesn't matter to me at all. I think him winning with Reigns losing in a dirty fashion, I think it also kind of helps his potential heel turn down the road. I'm not exactly sure, but what do you think is going to happen in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
I was leaning towards Harper, but I think Dead on Dave kind of planted the seed of struggle. So I'm going to struggle between those 2 selections, the Big Show and Harper, until we shoot Wednesday. I'm not sure yet, bro.
Reputation Killer in the chat says the Battle Royal will come down to Braun and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, I still have high hopes for. I know I said earlier that I think that Finn Balor is going to show up on Monday. I still have some type of hope that they're going to plant something on Monday, this Monday, with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon having some type of match, a representation match. Like Samoa Joe representing Stephanie and then a mystery guy for Mick, and I want it to be Finn Balor. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe's what I'd like to see happen, but I'm still holding out hopes. I know you give 0 fucks, but I do hold out hope.
I'm so sick and tired of the authority struggle storylines year after year after year after year. It's the same issue that TNA had when it came to factions.
Yeah.
Faction. This fucking executive power struggle that Stephanie and Triple H are always seemingly involved in is just, what are we going on now? 4 years?
It's at least
like,
it's
fuck.
tiresome. Yeah.
Like, fuck, I don't want to eat steak every night. It's nice, but I don't want to eat steak every night. And we're going on some variation of the same type of power struggle for 4 years now, you know?
That's why I'm expecting something big to happen with I'm assuming Seth getting a big victory over Triple H, and then if this match,
I hope so, pal.
I think so. And then
I
the
hope so.
Stephanie match that I hope does happen essentially would open the door for Kurt Angle to take that GM spot that a lot of people are assuming he's going to take. I think this is a way to
be so
get
happy
them
with
the fuck
that.
out. Get out. Get both of them gone.
Respect to Mick, but his whole time put in has been an epic fail as
super
Raw
fail.
GM.
Oh my God, he's had a couple of nice moments as of late, but
fair enough.
It's been awful, and I'm a big Mick Foley guy. I love.
I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Mick agreeing to do my first interview.
Very true, but it's hard to listen to him. It's so hard to listen to him. And I think a big part of it is how much pain he's in. And from a guy who's been in a lot of pain for a long time, when you lose weight and you're still in pain, it's one of the most frustrating things. He needs to have that hip surgery, which he is having. It's so frustrating.
I agree. I agree. But with the loss of weight, it's also a lot less pressure on his joints and his whole body structure. You know, you've lost a lot of weight over the course, you know, so... it gets better and better over time, right?
Yeah. Well, for me, unfortunately, not for me. Because my pain isn't anything to do with weight or muscular. It doesn't matter if I'm 200 pounds or when I was 500 pounds. I'm in the exact same amount of pain as far as nerve damage. The only good thing is when I lose weight, I can walk more without residual pain, which is nice. But unfortunately, no, my body's still wrecked regardless of what I fucking do. And I think Mick is kind of in that same spot at this point in his life, and it's unfortunate. You can just tell
when he got up to walk away at the end of the interview. It wasn't walk away. It was extreme hobble. It was extreme hobble.
When was that? What year was that?
Fuck, I'm so bad with dates. 17, 16, 15, 14. I think 2013.
Yeah, and now think
could have been 12. Could have been late 2012. I think actually.
4 or 5 years later.
I think it was 2012.
Now we're 4 or 5 years later. He still needs that surgery.
He can't be much better. No. And when it comes to hip and knee surgery, these are two procedures that 9 times out of 10, the person that gets that new hip or new knees almost feel as good as new.
Yeah, Scott Hall. Scott Hall got that hip surgery and he felt like a brand new man. So we'll see. Before we get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and say our goodbyes, and then make sure you stick around for 1 minute, just 1 minute of your precious time, folks, right after this, because I'd like you to watch a little thing for me that Will Dillon Rodimus 8 made. Make sure you watch it, especially if you're a fan of wrestling merchandise and subscription boxes, something that Will Dillon made, so stick around for that, okay?
Hey, do 10% savings have anything to do with that?
It does, in fact, and using the name Dead on Dave, all of those things do happen. So, you guys watch that. We're going to get out of here. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. This is Andre Corbeil. Make sure you check him out on the Twitters at Andre_Corbeil. And, of course, he has a wonderful YouTube channel where he does videos all the time, covering all the big news. Andre Corbeil on YouTube. Anything else, my friend?
No, Dave. Other than enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you Wednesday.
That's right, my friend. Thank you guys very much. Keep it copious, and remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends, like all those talented motherfuckers who called tonight. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. Now watch this promo and buy stuff. Peace. And now, coming down the aisle, an unboxing of WrestleCrate.co.uk. I'm just too sweet. Oh my God, it's so sick. And the World Heavyweight Championship, Jay Lethal versus Noam Dar. Whoa, that's just the first disc, man. The Kevin Owens Show. That's an awesome Funko Pop. Oh my God. If you guys want to get your own WrestleCrate for next month, which is supposed to be straight fire as well, go over there. Go over there and get it. It's reasonably priced. There's all kinds of different packages that you could choose from, starting at like 12 pounds all the way up to, I think, a 24-pound box for
You there?
the Ultimate Crate. I mean, come on. It doesn't get much better than that. And when you do it, and if it's your first crate, go ahead and use promo code DeadOnDave and get 10% off.
Cake and I was trying to regulate. A lot of them I emulate, but none of them are.